30 seconds. All right, guys, welcome back to the WCG USA qualifiers. This is a best of 5. This is game number 2 between spawning the bottom right-hand location. It is Og from Team Quantic Gaming, and KawaiiLighT is in the top left, the Yellow Terran player. BabyKnight, what do you know about these two guys?
I played KawaiiLighT a couple of times on the EU server.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good Terran. I don't know much about his style, but he's a very good Terran. I don't know much about Og, unfortunately.
Yeah, Og is on Quantic Gaming. So yeah, this is a qualifier. The winner of this best of 5 will get a spot at the live finals in New York City. Pretty fancy. Did you see game 1?
I saw parts of it.
Parts of it.
Yep.
It was pretty. It was relatively one-sided. KawaiiLighT played pretty strong. Marines are good, man. Marines and medevacs.
Marines are pretty good.
Daybreak
Oh,
too.
He took a lot of his main out, right?
Yes, he took out the Nexus, some tech. It's hard to defend drops on Daybreak, man.
Yeah, it is. It is really hard.
How do you do? How do you do it? Do you just go for really fast high Templar, I guess, and?
You just need to be out on the map a lot with a probe, like have probes going around, placing pylons, looking for drops, stuff like that.
Right.
Or you need like 3 observers.
But then you have to have good minimap awareness if you do that.
Yeah.
Which I don't have.
Yeah.
So what can I do since I don't have that?
Die to good Terrans.
Dang it. What if I just put a bunch of cannons in my main?
You can. I don't know.
Then I don't have to have minimap awareness.
If they drop enough, then it just.
No, I'm talking cannons around the entire perimeter of my main base.
Then you don't have money, man.
But then I don't have to worry about drops, right?
That's true.
You see, I'm solving the metagame. One idea at a time. KawaiiLight's going for 2 racks. And Og isn't scouting. Whoa, wait a second. Did he scout? No, he's not scouting. What do you think of this?
What are you at?
What?
What's
I'm at 330. Og he's not scouting with the probe, and his opponent is doing a 2 racks.
Okay, so Ark's dead.
Whoa, Manor. Oh my gosh.
Has he not sent out a probe at all?
No, I
Or
don't.
has he just not?
No, he hasn't. Now there are builds that can be safe against most things.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. If he hasn't scouted at all, he has a lot of minerals, so he can make more units.
Right,
Or he has
exactly.
more probes, so he might
Exactly.
be able to defend then anyway.
And he's credit boosting out his first stalker, so I feel like that's going to be his
Yep.
his scouting unit. Going to send that across the map, see what he can figure out.
Yeah. Oh, looks like he's gonna make a nexus now. So
Interesting. Probably gonna have to cancel that, right?
without seeing anything. Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, KawaiiLight's investing a lot into this early aggression,
Oh,
and
but he's not like pulling a ton of SCVs or anything like that. He's just making a command center, so a little bit lucky for Ark.
now KawaiiLight had to have recognized that his opponent didn't send a scout. So he has to feel like that he does have a timing available here, right?
Not necessarily. He just doesn't know what Ark has.
Right.
So he could be going for one base forget or something, and then he would lose if he just sent everything. So they're both playing very risky.
All right, so we see KawaiiLight wrapping around the left-hand side with the squadron of Marines. Probably going to go straight for the middle line, I would expect, and try to take down some probes. I think that would be the best move. Would you agree?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he can't really kill the Nexus.
Yeah.
Oh, X not watching.
Oh,
God.
no.
That's not good.
That's not good at all. And these 4 Marines going to go straight for what? Take down 1 probe?
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot more probes
Yeah.
than that if he micros properly.
He's going to try to bring back his Stalker. There are two Marines about to reinforce. Probe's going to try to engage here. And let's see how much damage that did. 5 workers killed. 6 workers killed.
That was worth it. Definitely worth it.
And he has a command center down behind it, too.
Yep.
Which is nice.
That was good for KawaiiLight.
And Og is going into Robo. Hasn't added on any additional gateways, which is relatively surprising. But he doesn't really have the money to do it because he just lost a lot of probes. And he wasn't mining a lot there. So I feel like KawaiiLight definitely has a decent advantage.
Yeah, he does.
Kind of like last game. He got a pretty good advantage earlier on after a drop. So I'll have to see what happens here. So as a Protoss, what's the best way to try to make things happen here?
Well, he needs to get some info.
Right.
He still doesn't know anything. So when he gets some info, he can make a decision.
So what is he
Right
looking
now,
for specifically?
He needs to see if there's a third down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, he needs to see if KawaiiLight is still in one base because he doesn't even know
Oh, good point.
if he. But other than that, he needs to see how many engineering bays there are and when the third goes down and how far the starport tech is coming along.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, because that'll tell him how greedy he can be. But KawaiiLight is playing very standard here, so he can't really do much.
So,
He can't take-
when you say greedy, so like for example, let's say he scouted like 4 racks on the field, he'd have to add on a lot of gateways. Whereas if he scouts his opponent teching up super hard or taking a third, he can take a third of his own or something.
It's not quite that simple because if on Ohana you don't need that many units to defend
Sure.
because of the ramp.
Uh-huh.
You just need 2 force fields and like very few units. So you can. I don't think 4 racks plays are that good on this map actually.
Right.
He only has 3 racks, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, this is kind of standard, I would say.
But as far as playing greedy for Og, what would that be like? Teching up really fast, or would that be taking a fast third?
It would depend on what he see. If he saw a quick third, he would have to make his own quick third because medevacs would be later, and then you know, he would have more time
Right.
to get up a third of his own. It just depends what he sees. But he's just behind no matter what, pretty much. There's really, yeah, he's still behind from the beginning. But it's not that much. It's like it's pretty even.
Good engagement could help
Yeah,
things. You know, if you get a lot of good force fields.
Yeah, and KawaiiLight is playing very risky with these Marines. This is like very risky play. If these got cut off,
Yeah. He could lose his advantage.
yeah, he could get behind very quickly.
All right, we see KawaiiLight adding on 2 more barracks. Starport should be moving on to that reactor fairly soon. We'll keep an eye on that. Looks like Og wants to do a bit of aggression. 2 mortals can be very strong. Also on this map, there's 2 entrances to the natural expansion. So even if you have bunkers at the top of one ramp, if you don't have the other ramp defended, the Protoss could do a lot of damage. Do you see this push? How much damage do you see this push doing?
It could do a lot of damage. It's very hard for Terrans to defend this push on this map because, as you see, you poke at the front, you see bunkers, you go at the back, kill the rocks, and he needs to place like 3 more bunkers.
Yeah, and
even that doesn't cover it.
Og has like a lot of force fields available, and we see him using those, targeting down the bunker as well. KawaiiLight scrambling, trying to repair that. Well, Og doesn't want to overextend, but he also wants to do a lot of damage here because he's investing a lot into this, and after falling so far behind in the early game, like he kind of has to do a lot of damage, and he's up 85 to 59 supply. This is looking pretty good for him, to be honest.
This reminds me of the Immortal in against Zerg a little bit.
Yeah?
Once you get in that good position, it's really hard to deal with.
Wow.
With all the force fields.
This is doing so much damage.
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I don't think he can hold. He's gonna at least have to evacuate the natural.
So what could have KawaiiLight done differently here?
Well, he needed to see what was coming earlier and then make bunkers earlier because the bunkers weren't even up, and he needs 3 bunkers. He was making 2.
Right.
But it's very hard to deal with this kind of push. I think actually he should have probably just gone up his main, but he had so many supply depots at his natural, so he would have to sack all those. And
there's the GG. So wow, Ag taking it. I felt like he was pretty darn far behind in the beginning there.
It was a good. I guess it was a good decision to do that build. He was really abusing the map, and it didn't really matter that he was a little bit behind. It didn't really do much.
Yep, Immortals are a good unit too.
Yep.
Especially against bunkers.
They are.
I've seen plenty of game where it's not really in the current metagame, but the Immortal busts. It's more in the metagame of against Zerg right now, I think. So let's go ahead and load up the next replay. By the way, guys, thanks for watching. My name is Axeltoss. I'm joined by BabyKnight. You can follow him at twitter.com/toddlertoss.
No, FXO BabyKnight.
Oh, okay. It's FXO BabyKnight. That was close. I thought, my bad. All right. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into Game 3 fairly soon. The series is now tied 1-1. Winner of this best of 5 gets a spot at the live finals. WCG USA in New York City. And I'm going to put my mic down really quick as I get the next replay loaded up. Hope you don't mind. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Wow, you're slow.
Wow, I'm doing a lot of things right now, man. I gotta change overlays. And that's all I'm doing, actually. Alright. Okay, I'm started. And let's transition back. Perfect. Turn the sound on. Alright. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WCG USA Qualifier Finals. The last best of 5 was QXC versus TriMaster. TriMaster took down his opponent 3-2 to secure his position in New York City. So we have one Terran representative, and joining him will be the winner of this best of 5, KawaiiLight versus Og. Of course, KawaiiLight is your yellow Terran player in the top right-hand location of Entombed Valley. His opponent in the bottom right, it is Og, the red Protoss player. Tie series 1-1. I feel like KawaiiLight. Wow, my sound just got pretty crazy. Hold on. I don't know what happened there, but that was really weird. Okay, sorry. So yeah, KawaiiLight took game 1 pretty convincingly, pretty easily. He got an advantage in game 2, but then Og just made Immortals and went for a pretty heavy push. I think he had six gateways of reinforcements there?
I think so, yeah.
And yeah, it's a good build on Ohana. You have those two. The defender has the 2 ramps to deal with. I mean, like you said that, you don't need a lot of units as Protoss to defend.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
think.
Almost like do you remember Metalopolis when Terrans had to make like 5 bunkers to cover everything?
Yeah.
It almost reminds me a little bit of that. You need like 5 bunkers on Ohana if you see something like that coming.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's tough to deal with, and KawaiiLight almost made it happen, but actually he targeted down. Well, he got rid of all the Immortals.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But then there's still all those gateway units he had to deal with. 1 or 2 more bunkers, I think he would have been fine.
Yeah.
But this is going to be Entombed Valley. This was chosen by KawaiiLight.
Yeah, this is a
maybe?
good map for Terran. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Why? Why don't you go ahead and explain?
Yeah, because well, a couple of things. One thing that I think is probably the biggest reason for why he would choose it is because when Protoss is trying to take a 3rd base, it's very easy for Terran to abuse the path between the natural and the 3rd for Protoss. It's very easy to just stand on the low ground as Terran outside the natural.
Yeah.
And then just send little squads of units to where the Protoss army isn't. And then when he sends units over there, you can camp below the pathway between, and you can pick off units. Also, you can pick off Colossus with Vikings. You can just snipe a lot of units with your Marauders and whatnot. It's very tough for Protoss to deal with.
Yeah, it's hard to hold the 2 ramps.
Yep. So that's why you see a lot of Terrans on this map just go all in, pull all their SCVs when they have enough Vikings to take on the Colossus, and then just go for it. Because it's so brutal to deal with Protoss.
That's why you open High Templar.
Yeah, you really do need High Templar in that situation, but it's pretty tough to get a 3rd and because you need to get some Colossus at some point, right? And also have High Templars and enough of them, and enough of an army as well. It's very hard.
We see both these players going for very fast expansions. Not too surprising to see. This is also a map where, it's relatively easy to secure that natural. Kind of like Ohana, where you have a ramp leading up there. It is a pretty big ramp though, so you do have to be aware of any sort of shenaniganry in the early game. And we see KawaiiLight going up to 5 barracks.
Wow! Oh my God!
That's pretty scary, man.
Yeah, this is a map that this is good for, as opposed to Ohana, I would say, because of the ramp being bigger, as you just mentioned.
Yeah, you need a lot of force fields to keep those Marines away. And of course, if KawaiiLight pulls SCVs, that makes it like ridiculously more difficult to defend. Which I expect them to do that.
It's just gonna depend on Arc's
Og.
how many units he's gonna produce here.
Yeah.
If he made 3 gateways very quickly for some reason. If he just continuously makes units from them and doesn't tag up a lot, then he should be fine. But he also needs to micro well. It's a lot easier for the Marine player to micro, I think.
That is weird. Is he gonna make a sentry out of one of these, or out of both of them, maybe?
I don't know. He might make. He must have a cell in the
Huh?
third one.
Yeah, he
Or-
3 sentries.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Interesting.
This is a very interesting build.
Do you like it?
I didn't pay enough attention to him to say if I do, but it looks okay.
Yeah, looks pretty cool to me. I mean, the sentries are really important to get out early so they can start building up that energy. And they're going to be really important.
When did he take his Nexus?
It was really early.
Yeah, so there might have been a small risk early on,
Right.
like very late gate or something. I don't know. Oh.
Oh, is he going to scout this?
Oh, he doesn't see. Oh.
Well, he
God.
saw the Marine kind of going over there.
It's not enough. Oh, the Zealot's gonna see it. He has a Zealot on the top.
Yep, you're absolutely right. The question is, can he hold this off?
I think so. Yeah, he should.
He has to have perfect force fields. Ouch.
That's a mistake. Why did he force?
Yeah, the force field's going down on the ramp there. Oh, and there's a gap. SCVs and Marines getting up.
Yeah.
All the sentries are gonna die. Pros being pulled. Yeah, this might be the end of the game. Actually, it should be the end of the game.
Look at his minerals. He had 800 minerals. Now he just walked in 3 stalkers.
Yeah. Wow, KawaiiLight. Go ahead.
He needed to just make 3 force fields and just hold the ramp. Don't try to engage. He popped the Guardian Shield and tried to engage for some reason.
So like, don't try to be fancy. Just
give
yourself time.
And also his warp gate was so delayed for some reason. I'm not sure I like this build anyway.
Okay.
His warp gate was way too late. That's why he was floating so many minerals. He couldn't spend it.
Yeah. Let's look at income really quick. 20 to 20. So Og is gonna eventually clean this up, and he has more harvesters than his opponent, but Marines are still being sent across the map, and I don't see how Og can really deal with those.
He might be able to stabilize, maybe, but even if he does, he's so far behind.
No, he does have an immortal on the way. That might help
Yeah.
things. But yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Like, KawaiiLight has mules, so he has 17 harvesters to Og's 12. And Og is just gonna have to like spend most of his money on just rebuilding probes at this point.
He has good probe micro though, like sending the mineral walk or whatever it's called.
Right.
And he's good at using that. Most protos probably would have been dead at this point, after missing the force fields on the ramp.
All right, we see KawaiiLight coming up the ramp here, and that Nexus is probably gonna die. Actually, Og gonna try to engage this warp again. 2 Zealots, the Sentry getting taken out. Immortal should be targeted down by this Marines. They're just gonna microwave from these Zealots at this point in time. And this is really scrappy, but it looks like Og is gonna be able to kill these Marines. But is this one of those it's only a matter of time things? I mean, KawaiiLight still ahead on harvest, just 21 to 14. He has the ability to double produce mules.
Yeah.
And he's still only exclusively making Marines.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. We'll see what happens though. Ag was behind in the last game, and he was able to bring it back. This might
a miracle.
It might be a little bit more difficult here.
Yeah.
But again, if you're just now joining us, guys, this is game number 3. These guys are tied 1-1. Marine's gonna be engaging these stalkers. Immortal and Zealot in the middle of the map here. Nice micro there from Og, actually.
He lost a stalker, but
Keeping one alive though.
yeah.
It's so tricky engaging that little watchtower. Oh, keep that stalker alive. All right, engaging the watchtower in the middle there. Obviously the brush around it prevents.
Yeah, normally wouldn't ever go in there with Thermos Marines, but he has to do something. So he's just trying to be very aggressive with his units right now to kind of get back a little bit, kill some units for free or something like that.
Yeah, this is it's tough a moment because you can't really make more units because you're really trying to focus on getting that probe count back up.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's no way I can engage into his opponent's natural expansion with a lone Immortal, 2 Zealots, and a Stalker. Immortals aren't that good. They're pretty good, but they can't take on, what is that, 20 Marines I think KawaiiLight has right now.
Not quite. Almost, but not quite.
27 Marines, yeah. So I feel like KawaiiLight might just wait for Medevacs and Stim.
Yeah, he's just going to play it. Well, no, he's not going to wait for Medevacs. That would be silly. He's going to push when he has Stim. He's gonna walk across the map in like 10 or 20 seconds, and then he's gonna attack up the ramp when he has Stim, and the game's gonna end.
Spoilers. Come on,
well,
man.
I mean, I would like to make it exciting, but How?
No, you're right. No,
You,
it's
like, just look at the, you know.
the challenge
I
of
mean,
being a commentator. See, you're kind of experiencing it here.
yeah.
No, but it's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it's one of those situations where, and look, I think he's gonna wait for them to X.
I mean, last game, yeah, I guess he is. He's just, you know, playing it safe, I guess. But I mean, he doesn't have full information like we do, so maybe he underestimates how many probes he killed,
Yeah.
and he's just playing it safe. This is a very important game, right?
Yes, they're tied 1-1. So it's a best of 5. Winner of the series gets a all expenses paid trip to New York City to play in WCG USA finals.
Yeah, so it makes sense for Act to stay in this game. And he's doing all the right things to try and come back. Like he's been chrono boosting probes the whole time, and he's been making a lot of sentries to gather up energy. Because for like energy units are one of the ways you can try and come back. You know,
Right.
spellcaster units.
Just being really cost efficient with them.
Yeah, getting some lucky force fields, some good force fields.
All right, so I'm gonna try to go to Colossi here.
Good choice again. But, well, I mean, yeah, it's just so many Terran units.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
It's a lot of
Kawaii's
DPS.
Could make a mistake.
Like if he
And,
tries to load up a drop, loses a couple of dropships or medevacs for free, maybe gets a bad engagement, and Og has brilliant force fields.
Yeah.
Or he hits a little bit too late, and a Colossus gets on the field or something.
Yeah, if he drops like one medevac of Marines, and there are like 4 or 5 cells, and he doesn't micro,
Yeah.
the cells will kill the units from the medevac, and then he can defend the fronts with force fields. So if something like that happened, he could.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Looks like KawaiiLighT is going to go for it. Coming forward with the Marines and Marauders, scanning, looking for observers, perhaps, or trying to get a gauge of his opponent's unit composition. Very tense moment here for Og. He's chrono boosting that Colossus. Really wants that to get out. Might even throw preemptive force fields here. I think that might even be worth it. Just to get the Colossus out on the field.
He has so many immortals that he might actually just want to see if he can get some units for free.
Oh, there's a stim. Marines and Marauders stimming up, but there we go. The force field's not bad at all. There's a little bit of a gap, and a force field going to siphon it away. And now a Colossus is going to be able to get on the field, and all of a sudden, this might be a little bit doable for Og to kind of hold this off. His chances are a bit better.
Yeah, definitely. He's been drawing out the game, basically. He's been doing a good job of that. Still very far behind.
Yeah.
Just remember that, but...
Really
yeah,
good force fields there. KawaiiLighT's trying to split up some of his army, really trying to get that concave, but Og is controlling this really well. But he's out of sentries, out of force fields, so we'll have to see if KawaiiLighT can power through and do a lot of damage. But look at this, Og. He's cleaning it up. He cleaned it up there with relative ease,
Wow,
to be honest.
You know what? I feel like KawaiiLighT is he just wants to end the game, you know?
Yeah.
He feels like he's so far ahead, he just wants to end it. There's no reason to continue. But now he's like, he's giving it back to Egg a little
He's
bit.
leaving an opening.
Yeah.
Now he has to start transitioning into Viking, so he can deal with the Colossi that are being added onto this composition. Og is starting Thermal Lance. And we're going to see a big drop going to the south side of the map. If that can get landed, or if that can get dropped in the main base here, it can do a lot of damage. It's not going to be good. We'll see what happens here.
Wow, that's so many units.
It's a doom drop, and this is what killed Og in game number 1 on Daybreak. Just a really good drop, and look at that, going to take down the robotic spade. Thermal Lance is not going to complete, but all these units are essentially trapped. He's going to try to move them forward, trying to make them cost efficient, trying to target fire down that Colossus. Going to back away now though, and he's going to try to evacuate. Yeah, Thermal Lance. Yep, it was taken out. It was canceled, and now KawaiiLighT's going to get out of there with the Marines and Marauders and 3 medevacs. Was that worth it? Oh, also going to deny this third. That's really annoying to deal with.
If Egg would have microed better, he could have taken out like 3 of those medevacs.
Did he have blink?
No, but he just mismicroed the stalkers a lot.
Right.
He could have killed 3 medevacs.
All right,
But
3.
as is, that was definitely worth it to Terran.
Yeah, and he denied the third too. But KawaiiLighT, does he have a third of his own?
He does have the command center, but 19 minutes? I don't know what he's been doing.
It's pretty late. I think it's what you said before. Like he's just trying to end the game. He's like,
he's
oh, I don't want to
trying
go to
to
3
end the game.
bases. Let's just finish this.
I know that mentality all too well. I used to do that so much, and I still do sometimes. It's so annoying. You get so angry if you end up losing the game.
Like if you get a huge advantage,
Yeah, and then you just want to win.
Yep.
Because you feel like there's no reason to continue. I think that's something Idra has done a lot.
You gotta be patient, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be patient in your games.
Yeah.
Unless you can recognize a severe advantage. Like, I agree with your suggestion of him to go when Stim finished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then, like,
then he wouldn't have got Colossus.
Yep.
Yeah. At least try to force something out or something. Maybe making cup probes or something.
Yeah. But I mean, KawaiiLight is still ahead. But Og is doing a great job.
Oh, here comes the thing I was talking about earlier.
The SCVs? Or the Vikings?
No, he's just... Well, does he have the SCVs? No, he doesn't have SCVs. No. But it's going to be so hard for him to hold the third now.
Yeah, the Vikings targeting down those Colossus, trying to micro them back, is Og. Still a lot of Vikings here, though, and he can just completely destroy all the Colossus with those Vikings, as you said, and then just leave the rest of the ground army to the Marines and Marauders, and that's exactly what he's going to try to do. KawaiiLight has that supply advantage, 140 to 110 in that supply count, microing back those Marines and Marauders. All the Colossus are dead, but the Immortals packing a bit of a punch here. But I think KawaiiLight should have enough. Maybe. Definitely, yeah. And there's the GG from Og. So, wow, not bad. KawaiiLight, pretty fancy Marine build there. That's one of the scariest things you could ever see, to be honest. A bunch of Marines and SCVs marching to your front door. Yeah,
they've been good at picking the right builds for the maps, as far as from what I've seen at least. Picking the Immortal build for Ohana and picking the Marine build for Entombed.
Especially in those positions too, I think. You know, I think if you're cross position, you might not necessarily do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's still good. It's still a big ramp, but you can't abuse the back way that he did.
Yeah, and it's going to take a little bit longer to get there. Let's open up the next game. It's going to be game number 4. My microphone is on my lap. So if you can't hear me as well, that's why. All right, let's see here. Game 4, load. All right. Are you ready, Sir BabyKnight?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do they have knighthood in... Where do you live?
What?
Where do you live again?
Denmark.
Denmark? What's the language of Denmark again?
Danish.
Danish. Okay. I'm pretty ignorant of Europe, man.
Did you start?
Huh? No, I haven't started yet. Do you want me to start?
Are you ready?
I started it. All right, guys. Welcome back. This is the WCG USA qualifiers. My name is Axeltoss. I'm joined by BabyKnight, a.k.a. Toddler Toss.
Oh, God.
It's happening, man.
No.
It's happening.
No way.
If you ever play in an MLG event, be prepared. How mad are you?
Very mad.
This is game 4 of a best of 5. Your Protoss player in the red in the bottom left is Og from Team Quantic Gaming. Trying to fight for a spot in the WCG USA Finals in New York City on October 14th. His opponent in the top right, it is KawaiiLight, currently up 2-1. One win away from that spot. How nervous are these guys, man? You've been in a position where you're 1 game away from getting a trip somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is it pretty nerve-wracking?
It's very different from player to player, I think. It depends how good you are at just focusing on the game. If you're thinking about all these other things, like, oh my God, I'm gonna win a trip somewhere, I'm gonna win some money, you know, then it's gonna be really tough to win.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stick to your plan, your in-game plan and stuff when you think about those kinds of things. You might rush to some decision you normally wouldn't make.
Just gotta think about playing your game. Doing what you've practiced.
But I think KawaiiLight was pretty good Brood War player, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think think so. I think he's probably more experienced than Og.
Okay.
I don't know much about him.
Og did. He was a Warcraft 3 guy.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's okay. You're good.
I don't know much about the American scene.
It's fine. I don't know. Actually, I know a decent amount of the European scene, but not as much as you do. Which makes sense because I live in America. You live in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to be ashamed or whatever.
You just know me. That's all you need to know.
Okay. As long as you win everything, then I agree. But yeah, let's see. This is Cloud Kingdom PvT. We have a very fast expansion from the Terran. Let's see what Og is doing. We got a Zealot. Probably going to follow that up with a Stalker. Pretty likely. Probably going to stay on one gas for a bit. And then go for a one gate expand. I wouldn't be surprised. I think, did he see that command center being placed down? Yeah, he did. He saw it. What's your favorite thing to do when you see your opponent going for the gasless expand command center on the low ground?
Usually just make an expansion as soon as possible.
And then what do you go into generally?
Well, it depends. You can do a lot of things. I mean, I would say
on this map, I guess.
He could have skipped Cell at this game and just had a probe at the natural and just make the Nexus.
What about the engineering bay block?
But it seemed, well, he sent the SV in the base. You can do something like have a probe at the natural, and then if the Terran sends the CVs, the CV in your base,
right,
you just cancel the Cell and make the Nexus. You know,
mm-hmm.
Do things like that. But I don't know. Looks like he's just gonna place the Nexus down very late here. I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like he should have at least taken his other gas in his main then. Very saturated right now on mills.
Yeah, probably gonna add on a couple gateways, I would imagine.
Yeah.
To make up for that.
This is like this build he's doing right now is kind of it's a build that punish the Terrans that don't make a bunker, because some Terrans try to skip the bunker, like to try and metagame a little bit, because usually Protoss don't do this kind of stuff anymore.
What do you think about when you see he's putting the command center on the low ground, Chrono boosting out 2 Zealots and delaying your core a bit? Like making a Zealot and Chrono boosting it out and then making your core after and then making a second Zealot?
I would make the Zealot and then I would make the Nexus and then the core probably.
Okay.
Because you're gonna get a lot of scouting done with the Zealot. And you already know this, the command center.
Well, I mean, the idea is to... Oh, a Stalker! Stalker gets taken out in the middle of the map there. But the idea is to get your first Zealot to your opponent's side of the map before the bunker goes up.
Yeah, but then if he has good Marine micro, he's gonna lose 1 or 2 Marines.
Sure. Or
like a Marine and an SCV, and then your Zealot's gonna die. So it's gonna be like an even trade, but you're gonna get a scout off, so... It's not a bad thing to do.
So
it's
just a faster Nexus like, you'd rather have?
Yeah, I think you should, No, I think you can do that, but you should follow it up with a quick Nexus and not a Cybercore.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh, not the Cybercore?
Yeah, so just send out the Zealot, get some scouting with it, kill 1 or 2 things off, and then get the Nexus down as soon as possible. I've seen some Protoss do that.
Huh. Yeah, okay, cool. Interesting. But anyway, we see 3 gates for Og. He's adding on double Forge. And this is a map where the natural is relatively easy to defend. I mean, you have that ramp leading up to it, but you also have to worry about the flank from the bottom. It's a little bit more open. And we'll have to see if KawaiiLight, what is he up to? We got just 2 racks. Wait. Oh, he's making Hellions. And a medevac.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think this is something Select does a lot too, right? I've seen Select do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unusual, I would say. Not a lot of Terrans do this.
If you can catch your opponent off guard.
But it's very dependent on your opponent making a huge mistake, basically. Either that he doesn't scout it or that he doesn't have any kind of coverage on his bases. Look, he's gonna see the medevac now.
With the observer.
There's no reactor on the starport, and there's the factory right next to it, so he should know what's in that medevac. Absolutely.
So we're going to see KawaiiLight move out with his Marines and Marauders. So what he's going to try to do here is engage into the natural expansion with his Marines and Marauders and send a medevac drop to the main. Now, what's the proper reaction from Mag? Just leave 2 stalkers in the main and the rest at your natural?
Just have enough at your natural to defend, and then make stalkers, as many stalkers as you can in your main, and try to catch the medevac. But he started his Colossus kind of late. Could have started before.
He's also trying to get 1-1.
Yeah, well, that's a part of his build. That's it's a good build that he's gone for, but I don't know. He's gonna lose a lot of probes at the natural now.
Yeah, I mean he shut down the Hellions,
Oh god.
but let's see, what is KawaiiLight gonna engage here in the main? Killed some probes. I'm a little bit. Do you think he should have maybe targeted down the Nexus there at the natural?
No.
No?
It was good.
Wouldn't have had time?
Good play from KawaiiLight. Very good play from KawaiiLight. In terms of micro and decision making there.
10 workers killed.
He killed the cannon too.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not like he sacrificed a bunch to do that either.
No, he sacrificed Hellions that he was going to sacrifice anyway.
Yeah.
And he killed a lot of probes for it. So, not a huge deal. It was like the first game basically. He's a little bit ahead, but it's not a big deal.
Now he is going to be behind in upgrades.
Yeah, that is true.
Ag just finished.
But he did start a second engineering base, so
Yep.
it's not going to be too far behind.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. Do you think there might be a timing for Og off of Colossi and maybe 2-2?
Maybe. He needs to start, unless he's going for a 2-base timing, he needs to start a third like right now.
Right.
Because KawaiiLight has the third. Does Ag know about it? Yeah, he does. He saw it when it went up.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
So I'm thinking he's gonna go for a 2-base timing because otherwise he would have thrown down that.
Yeah, he
third.
made 3 gateways instead of a Nexus.
Yeah, that's a wrong decision if he makes a Nexus now, in my opinion.
Okay. Oh.
And he is gonna make a Nexus, so I feel like that's something he could have done better.
Just get the Nexus first and then the 3 gateways?
Yeah, because he's basically skimming on units to get the command center quicker. KawaiiLight.
Uh-oh.
So he should just do the same thing.
Ouch. He just canceled the Nexus. All of his main army's in his main base right now. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't have it positioned outside of his third. His main army.
Yeah. I don't know. He's very scared. You know what? I think maybe he doesn't know which building it is that's building there. Like he didn't look at the minimap or something.
Oh, about
he
the
thinks
third?
it's a factory or something, or at Starport, or I don't even know. But it seems like he thinks KawaiiLight is all in or something. Look how scared he is.
Yeah.
He's being so passive.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens here, Marine. Gonna see the progress of that third. I would expect KawaiiLight to continue poking and prodding at this third base. Try to catch his opponent off guard. Maybe incorporate a drop into the natural. Ooh, the High Temple Archives is right behind that natural mineral line. That might be a little bit scary if KawaiiLight decides to go for a drop of some sort. We see him going into the Ghost Academy. But Og has both High Templars and Colossi on the field, so he's going to have those heavy hitters. Just got to keep those alive and be cost efficient. He's making them all in the Archons, though, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it is. It makes him even more all-in than he already was, you know? The High Templars gather energy and they get better for late game. The Archons, you kind of need to do something with them.
Yeah.
They get worse as the game goes on because Ghosts are going to be out.
Maybe he's trying to fake this third. He's going to cancel it and do
Could
crazy
be.
all-in.
I mean, he kind of has to. If he tries to go for a macro game here, it's going to be so hard for him to win. He needs some money storms later on to get back.
All right.
He's so far down in terms of supply. And
Wow, we're starting 3-3 already. That's a little bit surprising to me. Like he hasn't started Storm yet, and he's already starting 3-3.
Well, his only edge is his upgrades.
Oh, okay.
He needs to keep on doing that, and he needs
It just feels like to me like a 3-3. That's an investment for the late game, and wouldn't like keeping your High Templars and researching Storm being an investment.
I think actually the best thing you could do here is to get 3-3, get maxed, attack before the turn has 3-3. That's what I would do.
With Archons.
Yeah, and try to just go for a kill timing when you have 3-3, or at least do enough damage to get back.
Add on like 4 more gateways maybe.
Yeah, you need to keep your edge. If you have an edge in upgrades and that's your only like edge,
Right.
then you need to keep that. Then you need to abuse that in some way if you want to get back. If you're this far behind.
Oh, there goes a scan from KawaiiLight onto the main army of Og. He's still on his 3 bases, adding on ghosts. Mobius Reactor is about to finish. Wow, he's making so many ghosts at a time. 6 ghosts at a time here, I think.
Yeah, very good play. He's safe to do it.
The most annoying thing in the world is cloaked ghosts and Vikings.
Yeah, kill observers and then the code ghosts.
Oh my gosh. I was so far ahead in the PvT and I just died to that. Made me sad.
I will say, I feel like KawaiiLighT started adding ghosts a little bit too late here. Look at his, he's made way too many Marines and Marauders. He doesn't have that many Vikings, Medivacs, and ghosts. He needs more of those. The power units.
Yeah. He's running out of supply. He's approaching maxed.
Yeah, this is actually starting to look good for Ag again. I mean, he does have a big. He's gonna get a big bank here, KawaiiLighT.
Yeah.
He's gonna bank, oh.
We have a pretty big engagement here. Marines and Marauders kiting back, doing so much damage. Ag trying to take advantage of that 3/3 time, but he hit before +3 weapons finished.
Yeah. And no storm. He had no storms.
Yeah.
Had no 3/3 yet.
And now KawaiiLight's just going to counter. He's up 178 to 111 in that supply count. Ag going to be retreating up to the top of his third ramp. Going to try to make something happen with the concave, but KawaiiLight just has so much. Just going to stim once again. That's a lot of Archons, though. But is it even going to matter?
Well, even if he wins this battle,
he's
he needed
lost.
to win it.
Yeah.
He needed to win that battle before very decisively to get back. Because he's very far behind in economy.
And he just lost a bunch of expensive units.
Yeah, and now he doesn't have that 3/3 timing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the timing anymore. It's gone. There's no kill time.
I think he tried to use it like just then, but I think he hit just before.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't have. He needed storms and he needed to be maxed. He wasn't
Wait,
actually
you just said not to do storm and just make Archons and do it 3/3.
No, I said get 3/3 and then also get storm. He could have done both. But he should start 3/3 first, which he did. So that was good. But then.
Oh, mix in storm a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have like 4 high temp with like 4 storms.
All right, so KawaiiLight's up 161 to 123 in that supply count. Let's look at the income tab really quick. 70 to 67 in favor of KawaiiLight. But I think the biggest deal is the standing army of both these two players. The worker supply or the army supply is 99 to 68 in favor of KawaiiLight. And he has those ghosts on the field, those expensive ghosts and those Vikings. Continuing to add those, like he has to continually be aware of, you know, how many Archons, how many High Templars, how many Colossi his opponent has. That's one of the trickiest things to get right in TvP, I feel, because if you make too many Vikings, they have a lot of High Templar, and your Vikings aren't doing anything, then it's not a good situation. One Marine is like, okay, never mind. It looks like KawaiiLight's going to stim down his ramp. And Ag is on the run here. He's like, never mind. I do not want to engage. That is too much stuff.
It's painful. He loses 2 or 3 Archons and 3 or 4 solids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, KawaiiLight is maxed.
Yeah.
Ag is at 153 in that supply count. And it looks like...
I don't know what's going on here.
Ag did have the base denied at the bottom right by a drop. And let's see here. Oh, there's a scan from KawaiiLight, and he looks like he wants to engage. Might be looking for observers. He's adding on 3 Ghost Academies. But let's see if this game lasts long enough. Are those just celebratory Ghost Academies?
Probably.
Because if KawaiiLight wins this game, he will secure his spot in the WCG USA Finals in New York City at the live event. Big engagement going to happen here. Ag moving forward with all of these Archons, Zealots, and Colossi. KawaiiLight splitting up his Marines and Marauders. Oh, excuse me. Backing them away, and he's just going to roll over Ag's main army, and there's the GGs, and KawaiiLight will secure his spot in the live finals. WCG USA. That's 2 Terrans though, which is, as a Protoss player, it's whatever.
That's good.
It's good.
I think it's good to have some Terrans, man. We only have.
That's actually a good point. That's a good point.